everyone, this is Nipasa, your host for Daily Immigration News, brought to you by Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Today we have a lineup of the latest updates on US immigration, education, and policy shifts under the Trump administration. Let's dive into the headlines for today. First, we have the Laken Riley Act. Will it reshape US immigration and impact India with visa bans? We are going to explore how this controversial legislation could mandate visa bans for uncooperative nations like India, reshaping the immigration landscape. Second, we have Republican senators criticize Trump's January 6 pardons amid backlash. A major political rift unfolds as prominent GOP members question the decision to pardon certain individuals tied to the January 6th events. Third, we have wildfires force evacuations in San Diego as Santa Ana winds wreak havoc. But the devastating impact of wildfires continues, with communities scrambling to stay safe as extreme winds fuel the crisis. Next, we have immigration groups criticize Nevada Democrats for supporting Trump's anti-immigrant policies. We are going to dive into the unexpected bipartisan support for stricter immigration measures, sparking outrage among advocacy groups. Next, we have India tackles illegal immigration amid Trump's crackdown. Cooperation with US in focus. Yes, India's efforts to address immigration concerns align with US priorities, paving the way for strategic collaboration. Next, we have Trump ends birthright citizenship, what it means for US-born children of immigrants. A groundbreaking policy shift in raising concerns for immigrant families. What are the implications for those affected? And then we have US universities see record Indian student enrollment despite visa challenges. Indian students dominate US higher education even as visa issues create hurdles for prospective applicants. Next, we have U.S. Secretary of State Rubio raises irregular immigration in first meeting with Jaishankar. A key discussion sets the tone for U.S.-India cooperation on migration and regional security. And then we have U.S. and India address immigration concerns amid policy shifts under Trump administration. The two nations aim to navigate evolving immigration dynamics while strengthening their strategic partnership. Last but not the least, we should welcome additional immigrants. That is what is said by former US NSA Bolton on H-1B visa program. A surprising take from John Bolton highlights the need to expand the H-1B visa program to drive economic growth. Now let's get started with today's deep dive into these stories. First up, we have the Laken Riley Act. Will it reshape US immigration and impact India with visa bans? The Laken Riley Act, named after a Georgia nursing student tragically murdered by an undocumented immigrant, is poised to overhaul U.S. immigration enforcement. Proposed by lawmakers with bipartisan support, the act mandates detention for undocumented immigrants accused of theft or violent crimes and empowers state attorneys general to challenge federal immigration decisions. A contentious provision allows states to request visa bans for countries deemed uncooperative in accepting deported nationals. India is among those listed. This raises concerns about potential economic, humanitarian, and diplomatic repercussions. Critics argue that mandatory detention for minor offenses like theft diverts resources from addressing violent criminals, while proponents see it as a necessary measure to close gaps in immigration enforcement. As the legislation gains momentum under President Donald Trump's administration, it sparks debate about its potential impact on global relations, immigrant communities, and the U.S. justice system. The second headline, we have Republican senators criticize Trump's January 6 pardons amid backlash. Senators Suzanne Collins, R. Maine, and Lisa Murkowski, R. Alaska, have voiced strong criticism of President Donald Trump's decision to pardon certain individuals involved in the January 6 Capitol riot. Senator Collins revealed her communication with an officer who shared a video of his assault, emphasizing the emotional toll. People who committed violent crimes on January 6 of 2021 should not be pardoned, she stated, adding a distinction between those who deserve clemency versus those who committed violence. Senator Murkowski expressed disappointment, noting her concerns about the message this sends to law enforcement officers who defended the Capitol. "I fear the message sent to these brave men and women who stood by us," she said. The controversial pardons have sparked widespread debate about accountability and justice following the Capitol riots. And the third headline we have is wildfires force evacuations in San Diego as Santa Ana winds wreak havoc. San Diego County faced multiple wildfire outbreaks early Tuesday, prompting evacuations, school closures, and power shutoffs. The largest blaze, the Lilac Fire, expanded to 80 acres in Bonsal, displacing 86 residents and damaging 2 structures. Firefighters have contained 10% of the fire. The Pala Fire, covering 17 acres near Pala Mesa, halted forward progress, allowing evacuation orders to be lifted. A smaller Riverview Fire burned 1 acre before containment. Fueled by hurricane force, Santa Ana winds with gusts reaching 102 miles per hour. These fires highlight ongoing risks. Nearly 48,000 power outages were reported across San Diego and Riverside counties by late morning. Meanwhile, Los Angeles remains under red flag warnings as crews battle 2 deadly wildfires that have already claimed 27 lives and destroyed over 15,000 structures. Authorities remain vigilant against potential new outbreaks. Next up, we have immigration groups criticize Nevada Democrats for supporting Trump's anti-immigrant policies. The Nevada Immigrant Coalition, representing nearly 40 organizations, gathered in downtown Las Vegas to denounce recent immigration measures signed by President Trump and criticized by Nevada's Democratic congressional delegation for supporting them. The key concerns include the Laken Riley Act, passed with bipartisan support, which allows detention and deportation of undocumented immigrants arrested for nonviolent crimes without a conviction. Advocates argue the legislation undermines due process and facilitates Trump's mass deportation agenda. Local organizers like Leo Murrieta of Make the Road Nevada accused Democratic Senators Jackie Rosen and Catherine Cortez Masto of betraying immigrant communities by supporting such policies. Meanwhile, Trump has issued sweeping executive orders targeting humanitarian parole programs and asylum processes, sparking fear and uncertainty among immigrant families. The coalition is urging Nevada Democrats to reverse course and stand against policies they believe scapegoat immigrants and erode community trust. Next up, we have India tackles illegal immigration amidst Trump's crackdown. Cooperation with US in focus. India is reinforcing its commitment to addressing illegal immigration in collaboration with global partners, including the United States. Amid President Donald Trump's renewed emphasis on mass deportations, India's Ministry of External Affairs confirmed proactive measures to repatriate Indian nationals residing illegally abroad. With around 18,000 Indian citizens identified for deportation by the US, India aims to ensure an orderly and lawful process. This initiative aligns with India's broader strategy of fostering legal migration avenues such as H-1B visas, while curbing irregular migration. Indian authorities emphasize balancing border security with protecting citizens' rights and opportunities, underscoring the importance of international cooperation in addressing illegal immigration. Next up, we have Trump ends birthright citizenship. What it means for US-born children of immigrants. In a landmark move, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to terminate birthright citizenship, a policy rooted in the 14th Amendment that grants US citizenship to anyone born on American soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status. The order challenges the traditional interpretation of the amendment excluding from citizenship children born to parents without legal status or temporary visas. Set to take effect on February 19, the directive instructs federal agencies to stop recognizing citizenship of individuals falling under these categories. Critics argue the order violates constitutional protections, setting the stage for a legal showdown. Immigration advocates have already filed lawsuits emphasizing that the amendment's broad protections were reaffirmed in the landmark 1898 Wong Kim R case. If upheld, this order could profoundly impact thousands of US-born children, reshaping immigration and citizenship policies for generations. The nation awaits court rulings on this controversial decision. Next up, we have US universities see record Indian student enrollment despite visa challenges. Indian students are now the largest group of international students in US universities, surpassing China with a record of 331,602 enrollments in the 2023-24 academic year, a 23% rise from the previous year according to the ICEF monitor. Indian students account for 29.4% of the total international student population in the US per the Open Doors report. However, visa processing challenges have emerged with a 38% drop in F1 visa issued to Indian students in 2024. Speculation is rife about how President-elect Donald Trump's policies starting January 2025 may impact future Indian enrollments given his history of stricter immigration rules. Experts like Sonal Kapoor of Prodigy Finance emphasize that US remains a premier destination due to its academic excellence, diversity of programs, and global recognition. The Optional Practical Training, which is OPT program, also gives STEM graduates up to 3 years to gain work experience post-graduation. Despite uncertainties, strong planning support from universities and scholarships continue to help Indian students achieve their educational dreams in the US. Next up, we have US Secretary of State Rubio raises irregular immigration in first meeting with Jaishankar. In his inaugural meeting with India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio flagged concerns about irregular immigration, highlighting the Trump administration's focus on addressing the issue collaboratively with India. The two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the US-India partnership, converting areas like defense cooperation, emerging technologies, energy, and the Indo-Pacific strategy, according to State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce. Jaishankar expressed optimism about deepening ties, calling Rubio a strong advocate for the bilateral relationship. The meeting also coincided with discussions involving Australia and Japan as part of ongoing Quad collaborations ahead of an expected summit in India later this year. This engagement underscores the evolving dynamics of US-India relations under President Trump's administration. Next up, we have US and India address immigration concerns amid policy shifts under Trump administration. The US and India have engaged in discussions over irregular immigration as highlighted by the US State Department, newly inaugurated by President Donald Trump, has prioritized immigration reform, issuing executive orders aimed at curbing illegal immigration and expediting deportations. Reports indicate the US and India have identified around 18,000 Indian nationals residing illegally in the US who may face repatriation. The Indian government has expressed willingness to collaborate with the Trump administration to address this issue. Meanwhile, India has emphasized the mutual benefits of the movement of skilled professionals, particularly regarding the H-1B visa program, which has drawn support from both Trump and Elon Musk. India accounts for approximately 78% of the H-1B visas issued in 2023, underscoring its significance in India-US economic ties. Last but not the least, we should welcome additional immigrants, former US NSA Bolton has said on H-1B visa program. Yes, former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has advocated for reforms in the U.S. immigration system, emphasizing the importance of increasing legal immigration through the H-1B visa program. Bolton highlighted the program's positive impact, calling immigration a source of strength for the United States. While addressing concerns about illegal immigration, Bolton noted that the legal immigration system is hopelessly gridlocked and politically challenging to reform. He urged for the political will to support orderly and increased legal immigration. Bolton also expressed optimism about the continued strengthening of US-India strategic relations. The visa program is a way to bring people in. They may return to their home country or apply for US citizenship. It's a very positive program for the United States, Bolton remarked in an interview with ANI. And that wraps up today's Daily Immigration News. Thank you so much for tuning in to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Stay updated with us for more on immigration, jobs, and policy changes impacting our global community. And if you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Stay informed and stay inspired.